welcome to all of you. I would like to thank everyone who has joined us this evening to celebrate the graduation of West Leyden High School's class of 2026. Before we get started, we would like to ask that at this time you please silence your cell phones. Tonight we are providing auto translations of the ceremony through the Wordly app to make the graduation experience inclusive for all families. Please scan the QR code in your program. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask you to please rise and join the Leyden High School Band under the direction of Mr. Jake Walker, Miss Caitlin Wilkes, and Miss Stacy Cunningham in the singing of our national anthem. Students, please turn and face the flag.
Thank you for that amazing performance. Please take your seats. And now I would like to make a few remarks. Good evening, everyone. My name is Arturo Centeno, and I'm truly honored to serve as the principal at West Leyden. Tonight, we are gathered in celebration at the beautiful Rosemont Theater, a venue worthy of significance of this moment. We are here because of the generosity of Mayor Bradley Stevens and the Village of Rosemont, whose support allows us to enjoy this graduation in such elegance and unforgettable setting. Let's take a moment to express our heartfelt appreciation. I would also like to thank Pat Nagel, Executive Director of Rosemont Theater, along with the Director of Operations and the talented crew behind the scenes. Their hard work and attention to detail elevate this evening for all of us. Please join me in thanking them as well. As a tradition here at Leyden, I'd like to begin by honoring a few members of our faculty who are retiring after several years of dedicated service. First, Mr. Rob Abishar. A treasured member of our special education department. Rob, would you please stand? Rob started his career in education in Highland Park as a one-on-one paraprofessional, and over the next 25 years were spent at Leyden in the Life High School and Transition program. Advice to students: come to school, get involved, and be prepared for success. High school should be the best 4 years of your life. Advice to fellow teachers: get in good standing with maintenance, transportation, food service, and the school nurse. These people are the lifeblood of the school. Nobody does this job by themselves. Congratulations, Rob. Next, we honor Ms. Georgia Staruvius. A cornerstone of the English department for over 29 years, Georgia, would you please stand? Georgia started in 2007. Having taught freshmen and seniors, she has learned a lot from her kids and states, "I'm a better person because of it. I will miss being with my kids tremendously." Her retirement plans include spending 4 to 5 months in Greece with her husband and traveling from there to other countries in the region. She also wants to visit all 50 states in her spare time. Congratulations, Georgia. Lastly, we honor Ms. Jennifer Stoltrek, another member of our special education department. Jen, please stand to be recognized. Jen started at Leyden in 1996 as a special education teacher and later as a reading literacy teacher. She got her degree in communication disorders and in 2012 took over the speech therapy role. Early in her career, she was involved in Leyden's after-school LAMP program, Leyden Academic Mothers Program, for pregnant teens and teen moms so they could still earn their high school diploma. As for hobbies, she enjoys reading, traveling, concerts, and spending time with the family and her 2 dogs. Congratulations, Jen. And now I'd like to share a few thoughts with the graduating class of 2026 in a message I call Checkpoints of Life. Good evening, graduates, families, staff, and the entire West Leyden community. Tonight, we celebrate more than just a high school diploma. We celebrate a checkpoint in life. A story that began long before high school, long before these final 4 years. This journey has been defined by working toward a goal, and while graduation is an important milestone, it's truly just a checkpoint. Life will be filled with so many more moments that stand out, like landing a job, meeting someone special, or buying your first car or home. And others will pass away quietly, without recognition, yet shape you just the same. That's the interesting thing about life. Sometimes the most important moments don't come with an announcement. They don't come with a stage, a cap, or a gown, or a crowd cheering you on. They happen in small decisions. Like, should I go to school today? Is it better to study for that exam? Or should I just type it in AI instead? So tonight, I'd like to take you through a few of those checkpoints in your educational journey and connect them with something that we all love, music. Specifically, some of the biggest songs from those moments in your lives. Now, fair warning, you may not recognize every song that I mention, and that's okay. That's why I planned to share my nice little speaker I have here and to play just a little bit of the song to bring you back to that moment in time. And if you happen to know the words, feel free to enjoy them. Let's rewind the story together. Checkpoint 1. Back in kindergarten, in 2013, the world felt big and new. You walked into school with curiosity, maybe a little uncertainty, and the endless imagination. Everything was a first. First teacher, first classroom, first time learning what it meant to be part of something bigger than yourself. Some were just potty trained, and others were still working on it. You may not remember it, but one of the most powerful songs from that time was Vivi Mi Vida by Mark Anthony. It's a song about living life fully, embracing joy, and continuing to move forward no matter what challenges come your way. And even though you didn't realize at the time, that's exactly what you were doing. You were learning how to try, how to fail, how to get back up, and how to find the joy in the process. Checkpoint 2. By 3rd grade, around 2016, something started to change. You weren't just learning, you were growing into yourselves. You were building friendships, discovering your interests, and gaining confidence in who you were becoming. That year, Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake was everywhere. It was fun, energetic, and impossible not to smile when you heard it. And that moment in your life felt a lot like this song, full of energy, connection, and the simple joy of being a kid. Checkpoint 3. Then came 6th grade, around 2019, a time of transition, a time where things got a little more complicated. New building, new expectations, new social dynamics. And for many of you, it was the first time you started to ask the question, who am I? That year, Bad Guy by Billie Eilish captured a different kind of energy. It wasn't about fitting in, it was about standing out. It challenged norms, it pushed boundaries, and in many ways, that's exactly what middle school asked you to do, to figure out your identity, to navigate uncertainty, and become comfortable being yourself, even when it wasn't easy. Checkpoint 4. Fast forward to 10th grade, around 2023. Now things were real. Grades mattered more, decisions carried more weight. Your future wasn't something far anymore. It was right in front of you, and you had to rise to meet it. One of the most defining songs of that time was Flowers by Miley Cyrus. A song about independence, about resilience, about realizing that you have planned strength within yourself to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. And that's what you did. You showed up, you adjusted, you grew stronger. Checkpoint 5. And now 12th grade, 2025, here you are. A recent hit that captures this moment, Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny. It reflects confidence, identity, ownership, capturing the snapshots of life and remembering them. It's about stepping up into who you are fully, unapologetically, and with purpose. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. From Viví mi vida to Debí Tirar Más Fotos, your journey has been more than a timeline, it's been a transformation. But here's the most important part of tonight. It's not just about the songs, it's about the collection of those checkpoints. You built something here at West Leyden, a legacy of resilience, connection, and growth, pushing yourself to be better each day. As I mentioned to you all before, we not only started together as freshmen, but we also grew together in high school. And now you step into the future unlike any generation before you. You were once that kindergartner learning to life fully. You became that joyful third grader discovering a connection. You grew into that bold sixth grader finding your identity. You pushed through as a resilient 10th grader building independence. And today you stand as graduates ready to lead. Class of 2026, you are ready. We are prepared you to pursue your next endeavor and know that you will always soar as an eagle. Congratulations, graduates. Your future's awaiting. It's bright. And go Eagles! And now I'd like to welcome Dr. Cole, our District Assistant Superintendent, presenting her commencement speech, Quiet Strength, the Power of Showing Up.
Good evening, Leyden families, teachers, staff, and most importantly, class of 2026. Tonight we come together to celebrate a number of students who have reached an important and well-earned milestone. Each graduate here has a story, a journey, and moments of growth that have brought them to this stage. Tonight, I have the honor of sharing the stories of two students whose experience reflect so much of what makes this graduating class so special. Those students are Nahima Aguilar and Rogelio Reyes. Their stories remind us what strength looks like in everyday practice. Our students, and not the loud kind, not the kind that demands attention, but the quiet kind of strength, the kind that keeps showing up, keeps caring for others, and keeps moving forward, even when life asks for more than we have to give. The first student I would like to recognize is Nahima. Can you please stand? Naima is a student who brings so much warmth to Leyden, a student who lights up every room that she's in, and not because she tries to stand out, but because she makes everyone around her feel seen, welcome, and supported. From the moment you meet her, you notice her kindness, you notice her positivity, and you notice the way she naturally takes care of people. And when you learn her story, you begin to understand where that strength comes from. As a child growing up in Central America, she learned independence early. While many children were worried about homework or cartoons, she was helping care for her younger sister. The two became inseparable, not just sisters, but teammates. Naima took public transportation alone at 10 years old. She learned how to solve problems, how to adapt, and how to carry responsibility with grace. But through it all, one person shaped her deeply: her dad. She remembers Sundays most clearly. No matter how difficult life was, Sundays belonged to his daughters. They would cook together, go to the park together, and spend time together. He made them feel safe, important, and loved. Years later, after a 7-year immigration process, she and her sister finally came to the United States to reunite with their family. She was excited and hopeful, but she also had to say goodbye to her dad, who was staying back. Not long after they arrived to America, her dad attempted to also come, and then one day, communication stopped. For nearly 7 years, her family has lived with uncertainty. No answers, no closure, just questions, hope, and grief, all tangled in one. Everyone would understand if that pain caused anyone to shut down. But instead, she chose to keep going. When she arrived in the United States, she spoke almost no English. She moved between schools, and she struggled silently with depression and grief. There were moments she wondered if there was any point in trying. And then she made a decision. She decided that if her family sacrificed everything for her future, she would honor their sacrifice by building one. So she taught herself English. She worked harder every single day, and in just 2 years, she became fluent. She joined wrestling, one of the toughest sports in the school, and then somehow she also joined dance, despite having no experience at all. Then one weekend, she was competing in wrestling tournaments. The next weekend, she was performing in dance competitions. And eventually, that student who once arrived, unable to speak English, became the captain of the JV dance team. But what makes her truly extraordinary is not only her perseverance, but it's her heart. Even after everything she has carried, she remains deeply nurturing to others. She's protective of her siblings, supportive of her friends, respectful towards her teachers, and grateful towards her family. Teachers describe her as someone who brings light into a space simply by being there. And when you ask her what she wants to do for her future, her answer says everything you need to know about who she is. She wants to be a labor and delivery nurse. The dream makes perfect sense because her entire life, she has already been acting and caring for people. She once said, "A small bump in the road does not define your whole journey." What powerful wisdom for us tonight. Because life will bring challenges. There will be moments of uncertainty, heartbreak, and fear. But this graduate reminds us that the hardest moments do not get the final word. What matters is how we continue. What matters is how we love people through it, how we support one another, how we keep showing kindness even when life has been unkind to us. And perhaps the greatest lesson that she carries from her family is this: never give up when times are hard. This lesson lives with her every single day. To her family here tonight, her mom, her grandmother, uncles, siblings, and everyone who has helped carry her through these difficult years, she wants you to know this: thank you. Thank you for your sacrifices. Thank you for your love. Thank you for her to become the remarkable young woman she celebrates tonight. And to this graduate, your story has already inspired our school community more than you know. You have reminded us that strength and softness can exist together, that nurturing is also a form of leadership. And even in the face of uncertainty, a person can still choose hope. Leyden is better because you were here. Congratulations, Naima. Your father's lessons live on. And as we celebrate tonight's graduates, we're reminded that strength does not always look the same. Sometimes it's found in a student whose compassion carries them through leadership, and sometimes it's found in quiet determination of someone. Our next graduate leads not through words, but through consistency, through early mornings, steady discipline, humility, and a decision to keep showing up long after others have quit. In a world that often celebrates the loudest voices, his story reminds us of the power of quiet leadership and an extraordinary impact on steady commitment. The second student I would like to recognize is Rogelio Reyes. Rogelio, please stand. Rogelio's journey started with a soccer ball. At 6 years old, he was playing a sport that would eventually shape much of who he is. Soccer wasn't just a hobby for his family, it was a part of his family itself. His cousins played, his uncles followed the game, his godfather coached him. The game surrounded him long before he fully understood it. And somewhere along the way, he became something much more than just fun. It became something deeper. A purpose, a discipline, a way of life. As a kid, he played everywhere he could, at recess, at family gatherings, and local parks. He loved the game because it brought him peace. It became the thing that helped him stay grounded, focused, and calm. And over time, he realized something important. Talent might get you noticed, but consistency is what changes a person's life. So while many people saw a talented soccer player, what they didn't always see, the workouts before sunrise, the training sessions after practice, the hours spent studying film, drills, recovery, nutrition, and technique, the constant effort to improve even when nobody was watching. There were no shortcuts, no magical moment, just a quiet decision over and over again to keep showing up. Like many students, quarantine disrupted everything. Sports stopped, routines disappeared, motivation became harder to find. Rogelio admits there was a period where he lost focus, spending long days gaming and snacking and watching time pass by. But sometimes growth happens in unexpected ways, and Rogelio chose to work. He started lifting weights, training, researching workouts online. He organized practice for himself. He practiced ball mastery drills and conditioned relentlessly. And little by little, progress came. Not overnight, not instantly, but steadily. The mindset would eventually take him to the local soccer fields to one of the top programs in the region, Chicago Magic. And from there, the opportunities kept growing. Traveling to tournaments around the country, competing in national showcase, playing against elite competition, earned the attention of college coaches. But through it all, one thing remained remarkably consistent about him: his humility. And even now, after earning an opportunity to play Division I soccer at Drake University, he speaks less about his achievements and more about effort. Less about himself and more about the people that helped him get there: his parents, his sisters, his cousins, his uncle, and his godfather, the coaches that pushed him and the teammates who trained beside him. For Rogelio, success has not been about proving himself better than anybody else. In fact, one of the most important lessons he has learned is exactly the opposite. Do not compare yourself to others. Stay on your own path. And that lesson does not come easy. Like many athletes, he struggled with doubt. He questioned whether he was good enough. There were injuries, setbacks, pressure, long stretches where results didn't immediately appear. But instead of quitting, he learned to trust consistency. Rogelio once said, "Even if you don't see results, you just have to continue, continue, continue." That mindset defines him. When training got difficult, he kept working. When pressure increased, he kept working. And not for applause, not for attention, but because excellence mattered to him. And what makes it more impressive is the way he carries others alongside him. The teachers and coaches consistently describe him as a quiet leader, a warm demander, the kind of teammate who mentors young players instead of dismissing them, the kind of captain who raises the standard without needing to notice it, the kind of leader people trust. And perhaps the calmness comes from another important part of his life: his faith. He spoke openly about how prayer, gratitude, and reflection help keep him centered. Before games, after games, during difficult moments, he leans into his faith to remind himself to stay disciplined, to stay humble, and to stay grounded. Rogelio understands that confidence does not need to be loud. Real confidence is built quietly, early in the morning, during hard practices, in moments when nobody is clapping for you. in the decision to keep going when things are difficult. And that mindset has shaped every part of his life, not only athletics, but academics and leadership as well. And again, he chooses commitment over comfort. And now that consistency has opened the door to the next chapter of his life, competing at Division I level sports while studying leadership and management. And honestly, that path makes perfect sense for him because leadership is already who he is. Not the flashy kind, not the loud kind, the kind built through discipline, through humility, through consistency, through showing up for people every single day. Tonight, as we celebrate him, there is one message that stands out most about his journey. You do not have to compare yourself to others to become extraordinary. You simply have to commit yourself fully to your path. That is the example he leaves behind at Leyden. To his family, thank you for supporting, encouraging, and believing in him every step of the way. And to this remarkable graduate, your quiet leadership has made a louder impact than you probably realize. You have reminded all of us that greatness is not dramatic. Sometimes it looks like discipline. Sometimes it looks like humility. And sometimes it looks like a young man on a soccer field at 6 a.m. choosing to work when nobody else is watching. Congratulations, Rogelio. Your consistency, your character, and your commitment, excellent, will take you far beyond the soccer field. And perhaps that's what connects both our future graduates tonight. Their stories are very different, but the heart of the journey is the same lesson. There were moments when both of them questioned whether or not their effort, their sacrifice, or their heartbreak was certainly worth it. And yet, neither one stopped. They kept showing up. They chose perseverance over excuses, growth over comfort, and excellence over comparison. One found strength through nurturing others. The other one found purpose in quiet discipline. But both reminds us that success is rarely built in easy moments. It's built in moments when life is difficult and decide to keep going anywhere. And to the entire class of 2026, we see your story in theirs. Every graduate sitting here tonight has faced moments of doubt, of setbacks, of pressures, disappointment, or exhaustion. Yet you are here because you pushed through those moments. You adapted, you persevered. You keep working even when the outcome was uncertain. And that's what graduation truly represents. Not perfection, not an easy journey, but resilience. So as you leave Leyden, remember this: your future will not be defined by a difficult moment, one setback, or one obstacle in your path. It will be defined by your willingness to continue forward with courage, consistency, compassion, and purpose. Class of 2026, we are incredibly proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Cole. Now presenting our last commencement addresses are two outstanding students, Melanie Mendoza, followed by Lizeth Montiel Romero.
Hold on, friends. Give me a second. Okay. Good evening, family, friends, faculty, staff, and my fellow graduates of 2026. My name is Melanie Itzel Mendoza, and I wanted to start off by saying it is a huge honor standing in front of you all today as we reflect on how far we've all come. Thank you to everyone for being here to celebrate this moment with us. To my parents who didn't know I'd be up here speaking, surprise! This is an ending journey to many stories all around, but an opening to a brand new one. To the class of 2026, congratulations. We all made it through together, and I'm so happy seeing everyone here. When I first walked into Leyden as a transfer student, I knew no one. Walking through the hallways felt overwhelming. Everyone seemed to already have their friendships, their groups, and their place, while I was still trying to figure out mine. I kept to myself, hoping that staying quiet would make everything better. At the time, anxiety shaped so much of my life. It made simple things feel impossible. Even saying hello to someone or raising my hand in class felt like overthinking every word before it left my mouth. I believed that if I stayed unnoticed, I could avoid embarrassment, rejection, or even failure. But fear has a way of making your world smaller. For a long time, I let fear decide who I was. But high school has a way of changing you. Over time, the person who once walked through these halls feeling invisible slowly began to grow. I made friends, built relationships with teachers, and started saying hello to people in the hallways. The same person who was once afraid to speak became someone standing here today speaking to all of you. Then, during the first semester of my senior year, I lost my uncle. He was someone who always walked into a room saying, "Have no fear, Caesar's here." At the time, it was just a phrase that made everyone laugh. But after losing him, those words stayed with me in a different way. I realized they were more than a joke. They were a reminder that even in life's hardest moments, we are not alone. Losing him changed me. Grief made everything feel small. Assignments, deadlines, tests, and expectations no longer seemed important compared to the pain of losing someone who meant so much to me. There were moments where I felt lost, like I didn't know how to move forward. But through that pain, I began to understand something my uncle had been teaching me all along. Fear will always exist. We cannot avoid it. But we can choose what we do with it. So I slowly changed. I learned that courage does not always look like big, life-changing moments. Sometimes courage looks like showing up when you feel like staying home. Sometimes it looks like speaking when your voice shakes. Sometimes it looks like taking one small step forward even when fear tells you to. As I found my voice, I realized something even bigger. Many people in our community carry fears much greater than the ones we can see. Some of our classmates come to school not only worried about assignments or graduation, but about what may be happening outside of school or at home. In communities like ours, fear can mean wondering whether the people you love will be safe, whether they will come home, or whether their voices will ever be heard. Because of agencies like ICE, many families live with uncertainty every day. That may not be my personal story, but it is the story of many around us. And if graduation teaches us anything, it should teach us that success is not only about individual achievements. It is also about how we support one another, how we care for our communities, and how we use our voices for those who may still be afraid to use theirs. I want to thank my Spanish teacher, Mr. Jobney, for teaching me the importance of culture, community, and understanding stories beyond our own. He reminded me that our voices matter, especially when we use them to stand for others. Lastly, I want to thank my biggest blessings, my best friends in every universe, my parents. They are my biggest support system and the reason I am standing here today. Without their love, encouragement, and sacrifices, I would not be the person I am becoming. They taught me the importance of always believing in myself, even during moments when I could not see my own strength. Everything I have accomplished is because they gave me the courage to try. They told me not to be afraid to follow my dreams. They guided me in the right direction, and they told me, "We got you with anything as long as you stay in school. We want you to be better than us." And for that, I know my position as a daughter, and that's to keep doing what I'm doing. So Mom, Dad, thank you guys for everything. I love you. As we celebrate today, I think about how much can change in just a few years. We all came here as different people, uncertain, nervous, and still figuring out who we were. And somehow, through every challenge, every setback, and every moment we thought we could not keep going, we became stronger. My uncle's words still stay with me, but I now hear them differently. To me, they are not just a memory. They are a reminder that courage lives on through the people we love and through the way we choose to show up for one another. So to my classmates, as we leave this place and step into a new world, I hope we remember that fear will always be a part of life. But so will growth, so will responsibility, and so will the power of letting yourself go and follow newer opportunities. And of course, by using your voice, not just for ourselves, but for those who may still be searching for theirs. Once again, it was a huge honor standing here today. I wish you all the best futures with all support and love. See you soon, friends. Congratulations to the class of 2026. Thank you. Thank you so much, Melanie. That was a beautiful speech. Good evening, faculty, friends, family, distinguished guests, those on the live stream, but most importantly, my fellow class of 2026. Thank you for being here. My name is Liseth Montiel Romero, and it's an honor to be standing here before you representing our class today. Before anything else, I'd like to give a big thanks to the ones who believed in us when we didn't ourselves, to everyone who has made this day possible, especially Ms. Tinajero, to my amazing brothers and friends, y a mi ma y a mi pa, gracias. Oh, and shout out to Reina. Now I could spend these next few minutes talking about the fond memories we've made. But the truth is, this journey didn't look the same for all of us. And maybe the most beautiful thing about tonight is that we all got here in our own ways. Because of that, choosing what to say wasn't easy. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I had too much. Also, if you know me, I do speak a lot. How do you fit years of memories, lessons, loss, growth, and gratitude into a speech written in a week? How do you capture something that meant so much in under 5 minutes? You don't. But for many of you, this may be the last thing you ever hear from me, and I'd like to make these words linger a little longer than any morning announcement of mine. To start us off, I like to read the first 2 pages of this book. It's All the Places You'll Go, and this is how it goes. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. So on you will go, and perhaps that's why, for the past few weeks, many of us have been feeling everything all at once. Excitement, fear, sadness, relief, uncertainty. Allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. That's the beauty of being alive, which leads me to my next point. When I was little, anytime I got a sticker, I treated it like a treasure. I'd carefully tuck it away, too afraid to put it anywhere because what if I wasted it? What if I picked the wrong spot? So I always saved them for later, and somehow later never came. I never thought much of it until I got the privilege of working with preschoolers this year, because whenever they got stickers, they didn't hesitate. They slapped them onto their foreheads, their shirts, their hands, wherever they wanted. And I remember watching them and thinking how in just a few hours, those stickers would peel off and get thrown away. But to them, that didn't matter. They weren't worried about making the moment last forever. They were simply happy in it. Many of us live like the younger version of me, waiting for the right time, the perfect plan, the better version of ourselves, before we finally just start. We tell ourselves we'll do it later, but sometimes the perfect moment never comes. So use your stickers. Buy those car parts for the car you know you'll get rid of someday. Tell someone you love them, even though you know your paths may never cross again. Take the trip. Make the memory, because not everything has to last forever in order for it to be meaningful. Our high school years are proof of this. They were temporary, messy, constantly changing, but that's exactly what makes them special. Because the only thing guaranteed in life is change. We see it every day. Every semester, our schedules and routines changed. People came and left. But through it all, life went on, whether we were ready or not. So don't resist it. Move with it, even if it's hard, because it will be. Don't be a noun, but be a verb. Live, don't just merely exist. And how will you know what's the right thing to do? You won't. In order to grow, you're going to have to step outside your comfort zone. Try everything. And if you then find yourself throwing up lobster tail after dinner, then at least you know that isn't for you. Mistakes will cause you to lose things, but losing things doesn't just mean losing, because most of the time when we lose things, we gain things too. No good story happens from everything going right, and if plan A doesn't work out, well, you have a whole alphabet. Trust that what is meant for you will find you when it's meant to, and what isn't meant for you will find its way out. And truthfully, I say all of this because I've had to learn it through my years here. I started high school as a 3-sport athlete who never missed a day of school with my future perfectly planned out.
But chronic injuries have taken away everything I once had and everything I always wanted. For instance, this fall, while many of those around me continue to follow their dreams, I'll be taking some time off, putting my health first. And if you know me, then you know that'd be the last thing I'd ever do. But I've learned that life doesn't end just because it stops looking the way you imagined it would. Sometimes life won't be about what you want, but rather about what you're able to do, and that's okay too. It's also okay to not know what you're doing, especially not now at 17 or 18. On the contrary, I don't think you're supposed to, just as long as you keep moving forward. So take the risk, say yes, tell people you love them while they're still there. Be scared and do it anyway. Be the one that gets away. Change your mind and change it again. Take the wrong train and get stuck somewhere. Just let it happen. And if the goodbye hurts, then maybe that's how you know you spent your time well. Loving anything comes with the guarantee that one day we will have to grieve it, because what is grief if not love persevering? And so as we move forward, that is what I'll leave you with. Lastly, in the words of Hannah Montana, I'm so glad I got to know you, and from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the very best. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it. Thank you.
The Leyden Chamber Singers will now perform this day under the direction of Ms. Stacy Cunningham.
Thank you for that beautiful performance. Mr. Agnafo, It is with great pleasure that I assure you that the members of the class of 2026 seated before us have met the requirement as established by the Board of Education and are eligible to receive their diplomas. And now for the acceptance of the class by the President of the Board, Mr. Gregory Ignaffo.
Thank you. It is an honor and privilege for me to speak to you. And before we go any further, again, a very special thank you to Rosemont Mayor Bradley Stevens, also a Leyden alum, and to the people of Rosemont. Thank you for providing us with this outstanding theater in which to showcase these fine young men and women. Thank you, Rosemont. Welcome, graduates, and congratulations. And welcome to your family, friends, and all the people who are here to share in this very special and memorable day. Graduates, you're close, but I realize that I am the only one standing between you and your diplomas. So fortunately for you, I promised Dr. Cole that this year I would keep my remarks to under 30 minutes. Just kidding. But graduates, I would like to take a few minutes to talk to your families, those seated behind you. You can listen in, and you should. To the parents, guardians, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and siblings, a little reflection on the journey of these fine young men and women as they sit here tonight in their caps and gowns as Leyden alumni. I don't think they've ever looked better. They are proud eagles, ready to start the next chapters in their lives. We know how much you cherish them from the very beginning. In a few minutes, you will hear their names called as they receive their diplomas, the names you gave them. The joy in watching their first steps or waiting for their first words. Do you remember the first time they looked at you and said with determination, no? Taking plenty of pictures of them with missing teeth. Perhaps you agonized walking them to their first day of kindergarten. You guided them through their stress over an unwanted meal, their clothes, or a haircut. Through all the cuts and scratches, you were there to see them through their crisis. How anxious you were as the clock got closer to curfew time, anticipating them walking through the door, or over their request to borrow the car, their first job, stressing that everything would be okay. Caring for them never stopped. Together as a family, you share in their dreams and you share in their joys. They presented you with challenges and contentment, tears and laughter, perhaps an occasional disappointment, most certainly, an abundance of pride. These graduates have come a long way in their young lives, and now, because you were there, because of your commitment, because you cherish them, they are ready to take their next steps. For us at Leyden, it's gone by way too quickly. As we look at them now, like you, we are all beaming with LeydenPride. Okay, graduates, you can tune back in. I hope you were reflecting on your family's lifelong commitment to you and that their happiness, their joy, is being part of your life. They will continue to support you. They ask that you continue to strive and set goals, to dust yourself off from failures and grow from the experience. And most of all, they want you to continue to be the happy and caring adults you are today. So yes, as you well know, you did not get here alone. There are so many others to acknowledge who have had a hand in forming your character. Some who have been alongside you since birth, some that you've come to know at Leyden, and some you've never met. But each has played an essential role in your lives. Leyden encourages our students to dream the dream, provides them with the tools and opportunity to live the dream. But there are only a few that have stood up and defended the dream. With all those who have worn our country's uniform, please stand if able, so that we may have the opportunity to thank you for your service. Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force, where are our veterans? Veterans, please stand. Thank you, veterans. You make all this possible. And please remember that Monday, May 25th, is Memorial Day, a day to remember those who have given their lives in the defense of freedom, including several of our own Leyden alumni. And a very special thank you to Leyden community's first responders. They are on the front line every single day, protecting us and keeping us safe. Would all the first responders, police, fire, EMS, no matter what community you serve, and especially North Lake Officer John Pasoli, please stand and so we may acknowledge and thank you as well. First responders. Jonathan, please join me. Now come up here. There you go. Don't stand in the back. Jonathan Guerrero and Susanna Carita from East are Leyden's outstanding student board members. Although they are from different campuses, Jonathan and Susanna have collectively brought your student voice to the highest level of decision making. When the Board of Education needs to make a decision about what's best for the kids, we turn to Jonathan and Susanna for their input. They have represented you extremely well. In the fall, Jonathan will be attending Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University pursuing a degree in aeronautical science. Jonathan, we are so very proud of you. 2 years ago, you came to us as a well-poised young man full of discovery. During your time in the board, we've watched you grow into the confident leader you are today. We wish you well on all your pursuits. Thank you for your commitment to Leyden, the long hours, your valuable insight, and collaboration. Oh. Susanna will graduate next year. Graduates, the rest of the people that I will acknowledge have one single common purpose, and that is to provide you with the best possible high school education with an abundance of quality experiences for you to grow physically, academically, and emotionally. Remember, if it wasn't for you, the student, Leyden High School simply would not exist. We believe that Leyden High Schools provides the best possible education for our students with a wide variety of opportunities, and that each individual student has unique talents, and those unique talents need to be identified, nurtured, and honed. Although they are small in numbers, their impact is immense. Leyden High Schools enjoys the best team of administrators in any school district anywhere. Administrators, thank you for your vision, passion, and your consistent vigil over our most precious asset, our kids. Thank you, administrators. A major part of the success of these graduates is due to Leyden's outstanding faculty, those dedicated professionals who work diligently to guide these young men and women through their high school careers, who prepare them to be critical thinkers and confident young men and women you see tonight. Would the West Leyden faculty please stand and be recognized that we may thank you? Faculty. before you is the proof of a job well done. There are many other members of the Leyden family who work tirelessly for the success of Leyden students. No matter what the call, the Leyden support staff was always there collectively and collaboratively assisting the entire Leyden community, from an abundance of food preparation, building maintenance, security, transportation, technology, excuse me, to organizing the buildings for anything and everything all year. Remarkable simply doesn't cover their efforts. You've had a big job in bringing these young men and women here tonight. Thank you, support staff. And Leyden certainly wouldn't be Leyden if it wasn't for all of the volunteers, those loyal Eagles who consistently give their time, talents, and resources so young men and women like these graduates can have extra opportunities. Thank you, volunteers. Last, but certainly not least, a very special thank you to your neighbors, the taxpayer. We are very grateful that the Leyden community continues to support the innovative programs for the betterment of our students. Thank you, taxpayers. Excuse me. To the families of these new Leyden alumni, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be part of their lives. We share with you the commitment to excellence for their success, and I hope that we have met and exceeded your expectations. Graduates, I'll leave you with three things. One, cherish your families. They were indispensable in getting you here, and they will always have your back. Second, there's a famous quote that says, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Always challenge yourself to maximize your potential. Don't get comfortable with easy. This is not your practice life. Third, once an eagle, always an eagle. Continue to wear your blue and gold. It starts conversations because there's always a Leyden connection, and that can open doors. Dr. Centeno, Dr. Cole, on behalf of the Board of Education, it is with an abundance of Leyden pride that I accept these fine young men and women as Leyden High School's newest alumni, the West Leyden class of 2026. They bring honor to themselves, their families, and the entire Leyden community. Thank you.
Before we proceed, class sponsors, please prepare for graduation. We'd like to ask a member of our senior class, our student board member, to come up and present the request of the class of 2026, Jonathan Guerrero.
Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2026. My classmates join me in thanking all of our families, friends, and teachers who are present to honor us tonight. Because it's such a special occasion for each and every one of us, we would like to make this special request. As the names of the graduates are announced, please hold your applause so that all of the names can be heard in an equal and fair manner. With your help, we look forward to making this a most meaningful and respectful ceremony. Thank you. Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación de la clase de 2026. Mis compañeros se unen conmigo para agradecer la presencia de nuestras familias, amigos y maestros que han venido para honrarnos esta noche. Por ser ocasión tan especial para cada uno de nosotros, queremos hacerles una petición muy importante. Favor de no aplaudir mientras anuncien los nombres de los graduados. De esta forma, todos los nombres podrán ser escuchados de igual manera. Con su ayuda lograremos que esa ceremonia sea muy significativa y respetable. Gracias.
Presenting diplomas this evening, we have two of our Board of Education members, Ms. Lisa Anthony and Ms. Katie Boehm. Our readers, Ms. Elisa Flores and Martha Polly.
Assisting with tonight's graduation ceremony are 4 students from the class of 2027, Urelia Astorga, Isabella Bonifay, Luis Castellanos, and Fatimia Sanchez.
Mr. Alvarez's advisory, Amy Carrera.
Ms. Barrera's advisory, Angel Banderas.
Emily Frenesi Fernandez.
Viviana Barrera.
Freddie Guzman.
Miguel Alejandro Barrera.
Bethany Claudette Nambo.
Mia Jaritza Beltran.
Olivia Marie Nass.
Kiana Julissa Benitez.
Victoria Nevares Chavez.
Elise Kathleen Birchie.
Jesse Wen.
Christian Jason Bielczek.
Alondra Nunez.
Nevea Kaylee Branchcombe.
Brian Nunez.
Griffin Austin Brown.
Michelle Nuawa.
Rafael Borsiaga.
Vanessa Nuawa.
Serenity Josephine Kim Hetenger.
Adonis Mauli Portillo.
Melanie Gomez Luna.
Kimberly Rafaela.
Salvador Gonzalez Jr.
Alyssa Brianna Rogers.
David Gonzalez Reyes.
Emily Trujillo.
Juan Sebastian Gonzalez Farfan. Natalie Maselli.
Miss Petitong's advisory, Naima Andrea Aguilera Caballero.
Wander de Jesus Mantanillo.
Shabomi Akinola.
Molly Elizabeth Chirosic.
Aaron Barbosa.
We now have Ms. Carrera's advisory, Matthew Angel Carrera.
Anthony Michael Geltz.
Elias Jose Carrillo.
Patrick Gedrich.
Miranda Lucia Carrillo.
Javier Gomez.
Valeria Carvajal.
Jorge Antonio Gomez.
Emily Lisette Casaneda.
Valerie Jamilet Gomez.
Camila Castillo.
Yamili Gomez.
Michelle Castro.
Giovanni Gomez.
Eduardo Celaya Falcon.
Daniel Gonzalez.
Alexis Uriel Cervantes Escavel.
Diego Alfonso Gonzalez.
Karen Sofia Chiades.
Ethan Adrian Gonzalez.
Angel Chavez.
Isabel Adriana Gonzalez.
Joshua Shalim Chavez Mora.
Jordan Michelle Goucher.
Isaac Cos Ilion.
Jonathan Andres Guerrero.
Cassandra Dorado.
Cassandra Gutierrez.
Evelyn Maeli Flores.
Aida Jasmine Guzman.
Irma Angela Morelos Trinidad.
Damian Martinez.
We now have Mr. Daniels' advisory. Camila Avita.
Hong Tuit Nu Wen.
Sebastian Ayala Rodriguez.
Cristian Rafael Cabral.
Mahmoud Amin Baker.
Mr. Cartwright's advisory. Juliana Calderon.
Juwan Alexis Garcia.
Paige Madison Can.
Rafael Garcia Jr.
Marely Cano Gomez.
Jonathan Garcia.
Christopher Anthony Hansen.
Luis Abram Garcia.
Saraí Sánchez Nieto.
Daniel Alonso Garcia.
Sebastian Anthony Saw.
Nancy Juliana Garabay.
Alexa Ann Vargas.
Hector Emiliano Heredia.
Giselle Vasquez.
Eduardo Daniel Hernandez.
Emily Vega Bravo.
Zaid Hernandez.
Brianna Velarde.
Aaliyah Celeste Herrera.
Juan Humberto Velázquez.
Addison Phillips.
José Alberto Velázquez.
Damian Salgado.
Cadmiel Yanis Velázquez.
Yoselin Isasaga.
Kelvin Gabriel Lugo Reyes.
Thank you.
Conrad Julian Kaplan.
Miss Tricani's Advisory, Christopher John Gray. Alejandro Córdoba.
Mr. Gilliam's Advisory, Mia Michelle Patino Garcia.
Brian Valentin Lopez.
Kimberly Eileen Pesos Morales.
Mr. Durrani's Advisory, Dominic Jaime de la Cruz.
Fernando Antonio Pedrego.
Ángel del Río.
Kevin Pena.
Daniel de la Cruz.
Nathan George Gaston Pera.
Freddy Delgado.
Omar Perez.
Carolina Díaz.
Jesus Emmanuel Perez Muro.
Daniel Allen Domagolski.
Jesseline Mensa Peter Robles.
Mohammed Imad El Hindi.
Jimena Pimentel.
Daisy Jaylene Eligio.
Jorge Pineda Jr.
Raúl José Elizararas.
Yeah, go ahead. Alejandro Pizarro.
Madison Ellison.
Leonardo Preso.
Ruth Esther Escalante.
America Johanno Pulido.
Marvin Ali Khan.
Valeria Quintana.
Andy Martinez.
Alondra Jimena Quiros.
Christina Bianca Mayorga.
Caitlin Natasha Quispe.
Lisette Montiel Romero.
Jocelyn Cassandra Zawinski.
Julio Alberto Pichardo Montes.
We now have Ms. Gonzalez's advisory, Michelle Ariana Abija.
Natalie Yahaira Ulloa.
Etziri Yasel Aveses Flores.
Jocelyn Lisbeth Ursino.
Crystal Guadalupe Altamira Patino. Jonathan Gael Garcia.
Mr. Giordano's advisory, Sky Angel Alejandre.
Romeo Garcia.
Christina Elizabeth Honish.
Evelyn Navarro.
Kathleen Lisbeth Moran Cerda.
Axel Resendis.
Teza Annette Nevares.
Benjamin Esteban Rojas.
Trinity Paige Nowicki.
Chris Angel Levier Rojas Gutierrez.
Julissa Ramirez.
Ana Karen Romero.
Sebastian Adan Ramirez.
Jesus Emmanuel Rosa Gomez.
Brian Omar Ramos.
Vanessa Araceli Rosales.
Emmanuel Caleb Rios.
Yahir Rosales.
Catherine Rivas.
Yemari Rosas.
Kelly Rivera.
Angel Ruiz.
Jocelyn Jeanette Rivera.
What? Yep. Breseda Johanny Ruiz Ordonez.
Natalia Angelica Robledo.
Jesus Rumbo.
Alexander Rodriguez.
Oh, God. Peot Jan Votaschik.
David Rodriguez. Vanessa Rodriguez.
We now have Ms. O'Connor's advisory. Omar Chides. Nico Thomas Gentinias.
Mr. Lindemann's advisory, Kayleen Grace Angsalud Lacap.
Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Yahaira Lara.
Lizette Salas.
Lucas Alamar Latiker.
Ariana Salazar.
Gabrielle Ann Legaspi.
Deborah Jael Salcedo.
Leah Nicole Lenz.
Alexa Carolino Salgado.
Isaí León.
Abigail Stephanie Salinas.
Jessica Lopez Palma.
Antonina Saminska.
Jose Alfredo Lozano.
Fernando Sanchez Jr.
Julissa Lule Sanchez.
Alan Sanchez.
Eileen Natalia Maca.
Alan Memo Sanchez.
Alexander Magaña.
Ernesto V. Sanchez.
Justin Jesus Maldonado.
Jacob Rene Sanchez.
Ángel Daniel Marcos Payán.
Jacqueline Sandoval.
Leslie Marín.
Janais Brianna Santillanes.
Brianna Martínez.
Boo-boo. Michaela Santos.
Juan Antonio Méndez. Melanie Itzel Mendoza.
We now have Mr. Rothenberg's advisory. Jacqueline Lorardo Barja.
Josué Merino.
Annalise Maylene Lopez.
Giselle Meza.
Vladimir Josue Martinez.
Mia Montes de Oca.
Larissa Martinez Moreno.
Jordi Morales Gurola.
Joel Tristan Mercado. Misael Mercado.
Miss Manco's advisory. Jesus Manuel Alamo.
Mauricio Merlos.
Christian Allen Alicea.
Aquarian Demonte Miller.
Alexander Alvarado.
Victor Rafael Mindovich.
Jaslyn America Alvarez.
Naomi Evangelina Molina.
Joanna Arias.
Rachel Olivia Mall.
Lupita Arias.
Daniel Montoya Flores.
Josh Armadilla.
Eurydice Yanet Morales.
Elizabeth Arreguín.
Reina Morales.
Kamarion Ash.
Alejandro Morales.
Daniela Avila.
Yamilet Morales Medina.
Alishba Lynn Aziz.
Aaliyah Maylene Moreno.
Alize Lynn Aziz.
Caesar Moya.
Aixa Gallardo.
Camille Hendrick Medrozek.
Ángel Garcia.
Jesseline Munoz.
Sabrina Gasca.
Tiana Ashley Murray.
Jesús Gael Oliveros. David Rocha.
We now have Mr. Sorelius, his advisory, Alitsma Evelos. Ednir Castro Soto.
Emily Guzmán Asensio.
Daniel Courtney Chillis.
Miss Orozco's advisory, Christian Sargent Salgado.
Brittany Nicole Cruz.
Brian Nicolas Sari.
Timothy Ferris.
Ivan Alexander Saucedo.
Christian Nathaniel Fico.
Kirsten Ann Schilling.
Alonzo Ivan Figueroa.
Jacqueline Segura.
Daniel Flores Jr.
Stephen Jair Sierra.
Giovanni Alexander Flores.
Sarah Scorna.
Cesar Jonathan Funes Lopez.
Carolina Smith.
Leila Alina Linares.
Diego Alberto Sotelo.
Leslie Abigail Lopez.
Alexandra Sophia Switek.
Neri Gail Tapia.
Ana Laura Valdovinos.
Miranda Tyrone Morales.
Giovanni Valencia.
Tavy T. Tron.
Damien Velasquez.
Oh, you guys are- Okay, we're gonna wait because your advisor just went out. Suchi? Suki? Should I just go? Okay. Mr. Suki's advisory, Alexander Avila Napoles.
Miss Rafato's advisory, Natalie Marie Damian.
Isabella Lyra Lara Juarez.
Julio Cesar de Santiago Jr.
Victoria Marcos.
Henry Doan.
Andrew Marquez.
Alex Fabian Espinosa.
Enrique Martinez.
Ashley Ibarra.
Frida Martinez.
Julissa Karime Ibarra.
Yulisbeth Martinez.
Guadalupe Iñiguez.
Matthew Martinez.
Alejandro Iñiguez.
Derek Efrain Martinez Barraza.
Nicole Iñiguez.
Chelsea Nicole Martinez Terraza.
Iomide Samuel Kende.
Lenoshka Martinez Alvarez.
Adrian Brody Cussler.
Alexis Grace Maddox.
Dominic Xavier Padilla.
Lisbeth Mejia.
Alan Josue Baez Leon.
Milani Amari Mendez.
Andrea Palma Salazar.
Jose Merced Mendez Gonzalez.
Joshua Sandy Paniagua.
Alexander Mendiola.
Jose Antonio Castellanos.
Giselle Mendoza.
Mr. Smith's advisory, Crystal Joy Christie.
Juliana Giselle Mendoza.
Yaret Alejandra Contreras.
Camila Moraz.
Roxana Guadalupe Cornejo.
Paola Yvette Meza.
Stephanie Corona.
Derek Alberto Miranda Peralta.
Jenna Luisa Corona.
Oh, hold on. We gotta wait till your advisor comes out. Garcia. Okay. Angel Salvador Flores Jr.
David Anthony Corral.
This is Ms. Garcia's advisory. Melanie Gonzalez.
Isabel Corral.
Sitlali Lara.
Isabel Corral.
Ethan Isai Nambo.
Jessica Marie Corral.
Jayla M. Olvera.
Bradley Emmanuel Cortez Amial.
We have Mr. Holthouse's advisory, Ashley Nicole Barboza de la Cruz.
Celia Noemí Covarrubias.
Sean Carmack.
Isaiah Trejo.
Eduardo Centeno Flores.
Idel Piolo Trinidad.
Julius A. Cuevas.
Mr. Valentis' advisory, Juan Carlos Alarcón.
Daima Favela.
Rogelio Herrera Reyes.
Victor Favela.
Crystal Hill.
Brian Harim Flores.
Allison Eileen Huitron.
Zachary Edward Jaffrey.
Emily Neilani Ocampo. Marely Alicia Olivo. Cordell Orcullo. Rogelio Ordaz Holguín. Sebastián Guadalupe Orozco. Daniel Orozco. José Alejandro Ortiz. Belén Ortiz. Enrique Rafael Ortiz. Andrew Ortiz. Natalie Yaricel Salgado. Aleni Ríos. Elijah Amari Martinez. Darlene Angeli Jimenez.
We thank all who took part in the ceremony this evening, our Board of Education, our Assistant Superintendent, our administration, our students, faculty, staff, and our families. A special thanks to the music department for the beautiful music provided. As we start the recessional, we ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates have exited. You can meet them in the lobby. Here's the fun part. And now, will the class of 2026 please stand and face the audience? Move your tassels from right to left. You are now graduates of West Leyden. Congratulations.